Hello and welcome to a somewhat Royal Navy themed Foghorn where I read things so you don't have to. Why Royal Navy? Well, 079 sees a celebration of the introduction of the British destroyer line with a Royal Navy event. But before we get to that, we're going to take a look at some overhaul that the World of Warships portal has had. On the new portal, there's a news article about this portal change, but we can just dive straight in and have a look at the changes now. The new portal homepage has quite a nice layout. It seems to be very responsive, and it's laid out in nice sections. You can easily see where things are. There's a useful information section with the forum and your profile. The support is now called Ask a Question. You can see server status there with the number of players and the server status. You can see the community contributors page, and at the bottom where to sign up with friend referral links. The news page is the best one though, in my opinion. There's now a fantastic filter at the top where you can filter on all the different types of news stories, all the different categories. So for example, if we wanted to find everything to do with public test and the new patches, there are all the PTS news stories where you can find the details of the upcoming patches, which is what we're going to go through in this video. The video section works very similarly, for example, where you have a set of filters at the top so you can find the video content that you're looking for. Training works in a very similar way, but the news really wins it for me. This is a great change. It makes it very easy to find things because I spend a lot of time looking at the news pages. Talking of news, let's get on to the main story, the 079 public test. We'll go through the notes here and then we'll dive into the PTS server and actually have a look at some of this stuff. First up is the Royal Navy event, which has three parts. The British destroyers, which are not being released as part of this PTS because they are still in balancing and testing. The second part is the port update, so the foggy port of London is the new port. And then the third part is the event itself. Now this is a 3-month event, which is actually quite complicated because each month you have 4 milestones. Each milestone lasts for a week, and during each week you have 4 stages, and each stage has 5 to 7 missions in it, which by my calculation is over 250 missions. So it's going to take quite a lot of effort to keep up with, but the rewards are promised to be pretty good. Now in any particular week, once you've finished the missions in that week, you can enter what's called the Hall of Fame, or you can try to enter the Hall of Fame by entering a leaderboard, much in the style of the Go Navy event recently, where there was a top 10, top 100, top 1000. Very, very similar to that. You can earn rewards for getting into those leaderboards. And also for completing the missions, you'll get signals and camouflages with a chance, and this is something that's been done before as well, a chance to win early access to the British destroyers through containers. So there's a chance when you get one of these containers that it will have a silver destroyer in it. A further reward is through the creation of 2 temporary resources that will be available through the arsenal, sovereigns and guineas, and I'll show you those on PTS a little bit later. For those who enjoy operations, in 079 there will be a relaunch of Operation Dynamo, and the main change to Operation Dynamo is that the minefields will behave slightly differently, and if you slow your ship to 1/4 speed, then you will avoid damage from those mines. Also in 079 is a new game mode called Arms Race. It's a bit sort of King of the Hill like, where you have to capture a zone which pops up, or some zones around the map which pop up. It's a high tier thing, tier 9 and tier 10, and when you capture those zones you'll get reduced detectability, hit point recovery like in the operations, and then also armament reload boosting. And this will spread to your teammates, and it stacks as well, so if you go and capture other zones you will get a cumulative benefit. I'll be checking out Arms Race on PTS later. This next one's probably going to cause quite a lot of discussion within the community. 2 maps, North and Islands of Ice, both quite old maps, are going to be significantly changed in this update to be almost unrecognisable. First of all, North, here you can see the old map on the left and the new map on the right. There's a few minor changes to the outlying islands, but the major changes happen around the east side of the map, where the large wedge-shaped island is being split up into 3 smaller islands with a channel through the middle. And then also the large chunky islands in the east of the map are being reduced in size, and the gap between them has been increased. These changes are really going to affect the way the eastern half of the map plays, and I think you'll see far more disruption going on of the cruisers that inevitably at the moment sit either side of that wedge-shaped island. On to Islands of Ice then, where there's been perhaps an even more drastic change. And you might think, oh, these are 2 different maps, but if I rotate the new map to the left there, you'll see what's happened. They've actually split up the large islands. The south is much the same, a few changes, and the north is quite different as well, and they've got rid of the big continental land masses at the top, which doesn't really affect gameplay. But this reminds me of a couple of other maps, don't you think? Anyway, moving swiftly on, a weather effect called Thunderstorm Front from Hermes, the operation, has made it into the main game in 079. This moves around the map and can reduce visibility and accuracy as well. And it will drift across the map randomly and affect players who are within the area. So that's quite a nice addition to see. Also in the patch, the clan base is being relaunched as version 2. This will include extra buildings you can build for increasing coal, steel, free XP and commander XP receipt. It sounds like this is going to be a complete relaunch, with clans being reimbursed all the oil that they've spent so far, their base being completely cleared, and then you start from scratch basically building whatever you like. And presumably you'll be able to use up a lot of the oil which you've stockpiled through clan battles and daily wins and that kind of thing. The patch will also introduce a slightly new look and feel for flooding. So there will be, apparently there's a new symbol you can see there for if you are flooding, and also there will be a light alarm. I'm not sure whether that means a subtle alarm or whether that means light as in literally a flashing light. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to play the PTS and have a look. In terms of user interface updates, there's also an update to the skills tree, the commander skills tree, where it will try to help you to understand which skills are useful and particularly which skills are not useful. So if you were in a Minotaur, for example, which can only shoot AP, and you try to load Demolition Expert, which gives you an extra chance to fire then even though you have HE secondaries, it's not really that a useful skill, so it will tell you that's not a particularly useful skill. Finally, from the notes, the ship detection mechanics, which have been vastly improved, and you saw that in the 078 PTS, and I did a separate video on that. So that's been massively improved. It's going through further testing in 079 with the view, with the aim that they will introduce that into 079 in live. Having gone through what's in 079 in the notes, I think what I'll do now is I'll get this part of the video uploaded. I'll then go and capture some footage on the public test server, and I'll come up with a part 2, which includes some footage of some of these features. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified when I upload part 2. Thanks for joining me, Statsfolk. I'll speak to you very soon.